How's it going, everybody? I'm here to tell a little story about my parents. Well, my father, he hails from Massachusetts originally. Oh, actually, I don't know if maybe you guys saw as I was coming up to the stage, but I got a nifty little hat on. Do you know what that means? Iowa, that's right. Bonus points. Iowa Hawkeyes, yeah. So, in case you have not put it together at this point, I am an Iowan. And you might wonder, how did this guy whose father's in Massachusetts end up being born in Iowa? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. So I'm just going to switch this back around. Okay. So, before I tell you about my dad, I got to tell you about my grandparents. An interesting couple of people. My grandpappy, Don, worked at Wang Computers for a good 30 years before retiring. I noticed nobody laughed at Wang Computers. That's cool. Yeah, very responsible guy. Very well. He tried to instill in my father, practical values. Take care of your family, earn a living, do the right thing. And on the other side of the spectrum, my grandmother, more of a Zelda Fitzgerald type. Cocktails at noon. Big conversations about what it all means. That type of stuff. So these two elements came together in my father and produced a very interesting combination. So for a good long while, my pops was, he was a trooper, he was a little trooper. He followed the wishes of my grandparents to a T. He went to school, he began to learn a trade. He was all set up to be able to, pursue the American dream. But then a couple of things happened, one of which involves my mother, which you might have seen coming. She did not grow up in Massachusetts. She grew up in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Do we got any fans in here, the land of 10,000 lakes? Woo! Okay. Yeah, so she wound up going to Massachusetts. She was the product of a single mother, a nurse who raised 5 children, best she could. Yeah, it was a tough situation. My mom, she ended up, I don't know, I guess she got sick of Minneapolis, headed up to Massachusetts against the wishes of said mother, who was also very practical, being a nurse, having had to look out for so many kids, but whatever. She's in Massachusetts. She comes from kind of, a rougher background than, my father and his parents, Wang Computer, cocktails, whatnot. So my dad meets my mom in college, and they meet together in English class, which is very fortuitous because at about the same time my dad falls in love with my mother, he falls in love with the English language. No, he's no longer interested in being a tradesman. It's because machinery, it's only so romantic, You gotta, if you really want to lead the beautiful life, you gotta get interested in words and shit, So a couple months pass by as he's pursuing his classes, and he ends up hitting my grandparents with the double bombshell. Hey, not only am I done, trying to fix air conditioners and start my own business, I want to write the great American novel, but I'm also in love with a woman who, you think you're better than. Yeah, and that was, I think, probably even more crushing to, my grandmother in particular than any, proclivity towards the English language, was because, she imagined my dad, as the Zelda Fitzgerald type. She wanted him to be marrying, it's like an F. Scott Fitzgerald. And that we could get Oedipal right here, but I don't think I want to. And the antics that my grandparents went through to try and shame this woman, my mother, it's fantastic. They would invite my father over, and of course my mother would be in tow. And without there being any children present, they would set a children's table just specifically for my mother to sit at. Apparently there weren't enough chairs, but so that was the tenor of their relationship. But now we're getting to the meat. Now we're getting to the good part. My father, after dropping this double bombshell on my grandparents, big fight, falling out. He said, screw this, honey, baby, Deborah, we're gonna go out west. We're gonna start a new life for ourselves. We're gonna go to California. It's gonna be different. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna write the novel. We're gonna live on the beach. We might not even need to have an apartment. We'll just camp out on the sand. And she said, okay, Buster, and that's what they did. But then halfway through, they broke down in Iowa, and that's just kind of where they start. So, thank you guys.